Hey man, y'all know what time it is. There's no explanation needed. Y'all know what time it is. It is Saturday Eve. And what does that mean? Less than 24 hours before Red River Rivalry, baby. Let's go! This is the game we've been waiting for all season long. This is it right here. This is for all the marbles. The Big 12 is on the line tomorrow morning. The Big 12 is on the line. We know it is going to be an electric atmosphere. Texas and Oklahoma both coming into this game 5-0 and ranked for the first time since 2012. It has been over a decade since these two titans of programs have been not only ranked but also undefeated. I can't believe it's been that long. It doesn't feel that way, but that is because every time these two teams play, no matter who's ranked, no matter who's unranked, you could have a losing record, a winning record, a break-even record. It doesn't matter. The game is always a great one. Save for last year. Of course, we know last year was the anomaly. Oklahoma in kind of a rebuilding stage under his first season with Brent Venables and got absolutely dismantled 49-0. It was the largest blowout win in series history. We'll take it for what it is. This is a lot different team coming into the Cotton Bowl this Saturday. There's, I think, over 40 transfers on that team, a bunch of them on the defensive side of the ball, which is where Oklahoma was absolutely atrocious. Of course, we also know last year that Dillon Gabriel was not in this game. He was injured. And what was his name? David Bevel, Nick Bevel, something like that. I don't even remember the dude's name. Oklahoma's backup last year came in and was completely inept. I don't even know why he bothered stepping out onto the field, to be honest. I don't even know if that kid still plays football anymore. He probably shouldn't. Anyways, outside of that one game, the one anomaly game, every single game in the last decade has been decided by one score or less. 7 of the last 8 games, regular season games. Of course, we had the Big 12 championship game in 2018 where we lost 39-27, but that was a Big 12 championship game, not a regular season game. All of the regular season games for the past 7 seasons have been decided by 7 points or less. Many of them have been decided by 5-6 points, if that. So, man, look, everything is on the line here. Both seasons really come down to this point. It is very possible that if either team loses, we still reconvene in the Big 12 championship game. As far as establishing who is the top dog in the Big 12 for the final season, all of that is on the line. And I could not be more excited. For the first time in what feels like 2 decades, I would say, for as long as I can remember almost, since 2008, 2009, of course, Colt McCoy and those teams. But even those teams didn't feel like they dominated Oklahoma. It wasn't until, it hasn't been since Vince Young and that 05 national championship team just went in and dismantled Oklahoma that I feel like we've had such a complete team that I don't really honestly see the game being close. Hot take, we're going in early. Hot take, the game is not gonna be close. I know it's a huge conference game. Not only a conference game, it's a national game. All eyes are on this game. NFL coaches are watching, college players are watching, recruits are watching, everyone, casuals are watching. Everyone in the country is watching this game. All eyes are on Texas and Oklahoma, right? So, while I do understand that emotions are going to be running high, there's a lot at stake and, anything can happen. I think that this is the first time in a very long time that Texas completely and overwhelmingly out-talents Oklahoma in every single position group. Every single one. Maybe save for a linebacker group, maybe. I don't know. I can't even say. There's not one position. Maybe the kicker. Kicker is pretty solid. Outside of the kicker, who Who from that Oklahoma team would you replace? What player individually would you replace Texas with? Texas player personnel with? None that I can think of personally. So for the first time in a very long time, it actually feels like Oklahoma is just completely overmatched. And I believe that the maturity of this Texas team, I believe the physicality of this Texas team, and I believe the mental fortitude. I keep going back to this. The mental fortitude of this team is going to be too much for Oklahoma. No matter if the game is close early, no matter if OU gets ahead early, it doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day, this team is so resilient, they're so strong-minded, and they understand the offense and the defense. They have a complete understanding of the game plan. And they understand that it is up to them to go out and execute. They know Sark is going to put them in a position to win. They know Coach K is going to put them in the position to win. Their sole responsibility is to go out and execute. And I know you can say, well, Mr. MoBetta, ain't that always the point? The point is always to go out and execute the game plan? Yeah, but not every player has the confidence and the trust in the system to just go out and execute without thinking, right? That's where Sark and PK have these two sides of the ball. Both sides, offense and defense, are going out there and playing without thinking, and you're starting to see that more as the season goes on. They trust the system, they trust the game plan, they trust the coaching, and they trust their training. And I think their training is going to overwhelm Oklahoma. I'm not going to lie to you. I've gone back and I've watched Oklahoma's games. I watched their game against SMU, where they looked not very good. I watched the game against Cincinnati, where they looked not very good, right? The teams that they've looked great against, 73-0 Arkansas State, 66-14 Tulsa, right? Come on, bro. They're 5-0 coming into this season, but they have yet to play even a smidget of not even good talent, of decent talent. This OU team has literally been playing FCS level opponents and skating by outside of Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's just not very good. Emory Jones is not a good quarterback. He sucks. That's why this is his third program in 3 years. He's a terrible quarterback. That team is not very good in Cincinnati overall. They're okay. They're not very good. And Oklahoma struggled to get by them, right? They pose a lot of problems. And I think there was a lot of things exposed even in that game alone. That game between Cincinnati and SMU, there's so much to compile against OU's offense. I don't see where they're gonna really have a chance. If you can get Dillon Gabriel off rhythm in that offense, the offense is fucked completely. They are so fast tempo and so timing based that if you get them even a smidget off, Dillon Gabriel's throwing picks, he's throwing terrible passes into coverage, he's flushed out of the pocket, he can't think. He has got to be able to get the ball and get the ball out of his hands immediately, or he cannot perform. I'm telling you now, Texas's D-line is at a massive advantage. Texas's front seven is at a massive advantage because we can disrupt the quarterback and we can disrupt his timing. And if we do that, there are going to be plays available to be made all over the field. Mark my words. Texas will have at least 2 to 3 opportunities for turnovers. At least 2 to 3. Disrupt Dillon Gabriel in that timing. Continue doing what we've done in the run game defensively, and the game is over. We cannot allow Dillon Gabriel to sit back in the pocket and let his receivers get deep. If receivers are going to get deep, Jaron Thompson, Ryan Watts have got to be out of the game. Period. They've got to be out of the game. We cannot afford to let OU's receivers run down the field untouched, crossing faces with your feet planted in the ground, staring at them as they run past you. The one thing that plays this Texas defense is our secondary coverage deep. It has been abysmal. But we have guys that can cover the field. If Derek Williams has got to go in for the game, sorry, Jaron. See ya. we're trying to win. If Ryan Watts can't go and Manny's got to be in there because he's the best and most talented coverage corner on our team, sorry, Ryan. We want to win. We know where Oklahoma is going to try to attack us. There's only one weakness in this defense. That option game is not going to be available. If Dillon Gabriel is running the option, Oklahoma is going to be in some serious trouble. And I don't think they're even going to put that at risk. They saw what happened last year when Dillon Gabriel was out of the game. They are not going to allow that to happen. They know without him, they have no chance of winning this game, period. They don't even have a chance of scoring probably if Dillon Gabriel is out of the game. We can get really technical into this game. We can talk about the stat lines, or we can talk about Dillon Gabriel's 75% completion rate, the fact that he's thrown 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, over 1,500 yards. We can talk about Jonathan Brooks' ability to run the football, Quinn Ewers' efficiency and his decision making, not being prone to turnovers. We can talk about all that, but really, I think at the end of the day, in a game like this, stats go out the window. Right? Stats do not matter in games like this. This is all going to come down to players' emotional fortitude and their mental prowess, their focus, and their execution. That is all this game is going to come down to. We know what we need to do as an offense. We need to run the ball, establish the line of scrimmage, and keep Quinn Ewers efficient and keep him untouched in the pocket. We know what Oklahoma is going to try and do to us. Why? Because Brent Venables is the master amoeba fronts and of these crazy blitzes, right? We know Brent Venables is going to try to blitz Quinn, and he's going to try to get Quinn off his game. He wants to present looks to Quinn that Quinn has not seen. Because in previous games, Rice, Wyoming, even Sark has admitted they showed looks that they were not prepared for, i.e. Quinn was not prepared for, i.e. Sark was not prepared for. They, as a staff, were not prepared for, and Quinn, that is why he had so much problems, right? Because we see what happens when Quinn understands the game plan, when he doesn't get looks that he hasn't seen before. Look what he did to Kansas, 325, a tut. We know what Brent Venables is going to do. He's going to try to make Quinn think and force him into pressures, and force him into bad throws. In my opinion, once we establish the ground game, this is going to be the theme for Texas football all season long. You win at the line of scrimmage, you establish the ground game, and from there, the playbook in the field is open. It doesn't matter. Get Jonathan Brooks going early. Get CJ Baxter going early. Get that defense playing aggressive. It's going to be a chess match. We have seen in the past that these odd fronts and these blitzes from all over the place, these amoeba fronts, they've given Texas O-line problems in the past, right? They did it a couple times in the Kansas game, and Texas didn't flinch, right? We were carving them up. I would expect there's going to be a lot of that in this game. They're going to try and get Quinn off immunity. Just give JB the ball and let him establish the ground game. And then the whole field is going to open up. That is the key for us offensively. Establish the ground game, open up the pass game, and then we can see Xavier, then we can see Adonai do their thing. Jonte Cook, if he's getting in there, we can see him do his thing. We got another deep threat. Hopefully Jatavion Sanders can play, because that's our X factor as far as mismatch galore. He's going to be a mismatch for their linebackers. He's going to be a mismatch for their DBs. Doesn't matter. Great run blocking, etc. We know what JT brings to the table, right? Our main focus is going to have to be how we're going to get the OU offense off the field. We've got to disrupt Dillon Gabriel's timing. We cannot allow him to catch the ball and just throw to open receiver. We know they're going to be running at hyper speed. In my opinion, bad idea, because hyper speed means hyper 3 and outs, especially against a team like Texas. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if we see OU kind of slow things down on the tempo side, on the offensive side of the ball. Because I think at the end of the day, the best way to attack Texas is by keeping them off the field. You keep the offense off the field and we can't score. We can't run the ball down your throat. We can't hold the ball. We can't force you to need to score quick, right? So I think the Oklahoma's main objective is going to be hold the ball and try to sustain drives. Kind of like what Wyoming did. If I know anything at this point, I know it's that PK knows football. The dude's football IQ is through the roof. He knows exactly how to game plan. And he makes great adjustments. So honestly, if there's one thing I'm not concerned about, it's PK's ability to get his defense ready. I know that, like I said earlier, the one thing we're going to have to watch for, deep balls. But if Dylan Gabriel can't get time in the pocket, there's no way he's going to deliver a ball deep, period. So we're going to need that D-line is going to have the best game of its season, period. We need sacks. We need pressures. We need scrambles out of the pocket. We need off-timing throws. We cannot allow them to get into a rhythm and just dink and dunk and pick their way downfield. Can't allow it. That will be the only way that Oklahoma has a chance. If we allow Oklahoma to stay in the game and to run the offense the way they want to run it, and to allow Dylan Gabriel to see the field and to make the reads the way he wants to make them, it's going to be a long day. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't really think there's not really a whole lot else to say. We can do all these analytics and we can talk all day long, but at the end of the day, the game is won on the field, and these players have to go out and execute. And I think for the first time, probably since I've been a Texas fan, at least the 05 season is easy to talk about because it was one of the greatest seasons to ever be witnessed in college football history, period. So it's easy to go back to that. But when you talk about a complete team, this is as complete a team as Texas has ever had, at least since 05. I have full confidence in this team's ability to go out there and dominate. We are top dogs in the Big 12. We are going into the SEC play, and we are going to be the team to be reckoned with in the SEC next year too. We're not going anywhere. This is us from here on. We have the chance and the opportunity to go prove that tomorrow morning, and I think we do that. It's going to be a hell of a game. You guys do not want to miss this. If you have not had the opportunity, if you have not had the blessing to see a Texas and Oklahoma game, trust me when I tell you, you want to be watching this game. If you can't be in attendance, you want to be watching it. It is going to be fireworks. I am beyond excited. I cannot contain my excitement. I cannot wait for this day to be over with so I can wake up tomorrow morning. I'm ready to watch Texas OU. I love this game every year. It never disappoints. And I think this year is probably going to be one of the best games we may witness. Hopefully, best game scenario is that we do what we did again last year. I would love to see that, to be honest. I don't care. I don't want it to be close. I don't care for all the adrenaline. Nope. I want Texas to go in and dominate. I want Texas to go in and show who's the best team in the country. It's us. Let's go, baby. Hook 'em. Do me a favor, guys. If y'all haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you made it this far into the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Smack a like on the video so that way we feed into that algorithm, kind of spreads the video, spreads the word. And of course, turn on those notification bells because remember, no matter where you look, there's no better place than MoBettaSports for your latest football takes. I'm Mr. MoBetta. We got a doozy of a game on our hands tomorrow, and I am out. Peace.